Okay, let's talk about Dr. Melanie Dreher's Jamaican pregnant women study and add some more nuance around it, and also talk about some of the slimiest bullshit ever done by the federal government in their anti-drug campaigns. I'm Lex Pelger. I do can education for CV Sciences, the makers of Plus CBD. On the cannabinoids, ask me anything. Here's the famous study itself. While this was published about 30 years ago, Dr. Melanie Dreher actually started her work in Jamaica 50 years ago. And she was looking at how workers use cannabis to help them be more productive, how children would be given hemp tea and how that would help them with focus. And then she started following these pregnant mothers around, 24 who were using cannabis and 20 who weren't. When the babies were born, at 3 days of age, she found no differences in any of their scores. And by 30 days, the ones who were exposed to cannabis prenatally were less irritable, more stable, and had better reflexes. Her plan was to follow these kids for 10 years. And she was being funded by NIDA, the National Institute for Drug Abuse. And so when she released her 5-year interim report that found that the cannabis-exposed kids were doing better, NIDA promptly cut her funding using their old line of they're looking for drug abuse, not drug help. And they stopped the study in its tracks. This study had almost no reaction when it was first published, but it just continued to pick up steam, and now it's one of the most widely quoted things on the internet about cannabis and pregnancy, with many people saying it is the best piece of work that's ever been done. But there's more nuance here. This article in Scientific American has some good background and includes things such as Melanie Dreher saying she doesn't think people who are pregnant should be using cannabis, and that cannabis didn't cause the better scores that she saw there. As they dug into it more, the women who were using cannabis had better access to resources. They had more money and they could take care of their kids better, and that explained more of the results than the cannabis did. And in a great irony, the exact opposite thing happened with this, which is the actual largest study ever done, where they followed 7,000 plus mothers in a Dutch city, and they found that not only the normal things about low preterm birth weight, but also a host of downstream negative behavioral issues. But it turns out that when you analyze the data, those are better linked to environmental problems and genetic linkages, and it wasn't the cannabis again. So both of these widely quoted studies don't really make it clear what's happening here. A professor who interpreted these findings that you can read in that last article said that those who say cannabis is safe do not have the data to justify it. Those who say cannabis is harmful do not have the data to justify it. Nobody really knows.